We learned how to build athletic muscle like an NBA fucking pro.
There are many different builds that you'll find throughout the NBA, and as a hooper, you probably look like this one or this one.
Yo, stop playing with me, yo. At least give a nigga Shaq. Like, fuck, bro. God damn.
I'm going to be showing you how to build athletic muscle like an NBA pro, how I did it personally, and
like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, let's be honest. You can't say a nigga. Hold on. I'm not trying to print leak. I'm just trying to physique leak. You feel me? You know what I mean? But no, like a nigga. You feel me? You feel me? It's not even that crazy. It's not even that crazy.
Made that
Let's not play. Let's not play, my nigga.
Where majority of you are going wrong when trying to do so. But first, let's go over why majority of hoopers can't build muscle or struggle to do so. And the truth is 95% of you are making these mistakes and you must correct them before you do anything else. So the first thing is gonna be the stigma of building muscle as a hooper, it being a limitation rather than an asset. Now, you do understand that you can put on 5 pounds or 10 pounds or 20 pounds of muscle at your discretion, right? You don't gotta put on 30 pounds of muscle if you don't want to. If you only need 5 pounds, put on 5 pounds. If you feel like it doesn't suit your game to be super big, don't go ahead and be super big. You don't gotta be like LeBron or Zion. You could put on a little bit of muscle. You could be like Curry. You could be like Giannis. You could be anywhere in between. Now the truth is, majority of you are gonna end up looking like Kyle Anderson, but overall, the stigma around building muscle is a very poor mindset that makes zero sense, and you can think of muscle like armor. It's gonna assist you.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, like, nigga, if your game is fucking Kyrie Irving, dribble, shoot, or like maybe a tough lay from time to time, nigga, you do not need to be putting on muscle. And if you do want to put on muscle, you don't even gotta put on a crazy amount of muscle, man. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. That just doesn't shoot your play style. Now, if you're really attacking a basket, really putting it on niggas' heads and shit, you feel me? Really getting busy in the post, nigga. Really, you feel me? Really getting busy in the paint. Then that's when you really need to bulk up to like that, like DUFFWARD Barbosa size. You feel me? That's when you need to get up here. When you get to fucking with the big dogs, nigga. Fuck you talking about.
More in your game than it is gonna hurt you, and you should do so if you find it necessary. Now, the second thing that you are most definitely doing wrong is not eating enough food. Now, this is an issue across the board. It's not just an issue with hoopers, it's an issue with anyone that tries to put on size. Not eating enough meals is usually the limitation in why you cannot build muscle.
Now, see, a nigga like me, I eat enough food, goddammit. Just not eating the right ones. I'm not gonna lie, like, I DoorDash some Burger King right the fuck now, my nigga. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like, and you know, that's the fucked up part. That's the fucked up part about it. That's the fucked up part about it, goddammit. That's the fucked up part. You can't just eat anything. You need to be tracking your macros, nigga. Track that protein. Check your calories, bitch. Fuck is you? Yo, that was an unnecessary bitch. I didn't even need to drop that one.
Hoopers generally eat 1 to 2 meals a day. From my experience, for some reason, hoopers just don't like to eat. I don't know what it is, but they don't like to eat food. And the last struggle is one that all of you are doing, the most difficult one, and it's definitely playing too much basketball. High intensity cardio in general is catabolic, which essentially means it's counterproductive to building muscle. You want to look for things that are anabolic, like weightlifting and such. But playing too much ball, playing ball 7 days a week for 4 hours at a time, it won't allow you to recover enough to put on any size or any athletic muscle. So for that reason, you can't be hooping all day, every day if you want to put on size. Another factor of that is that the additional cardio that you get from playing so much ball requires you to eat even more food, which you're already struggling to get down. So now you need probably 400 more additional calories just to maintain what you were doing if you were not playing basketball. So like I said, first address these 3 things and you'll be good to go. Change your mindset, lower your intense cardio, and eat more. You'll be good. Now, there's 2 ways to go about getting your athletic build. There's the smart way and there's the fast way. So the fast way is that you quit playing ball entirely for a period of time, focus solely on the gym, let's say summer break, weightlifting, that's all your primary focus, putting on size, putting on muscle, eating more, doing what you gotta do. and then once you have the required size, you come back to basketball and you hoop. Now, this is not the best way to do things, but it does get it done quickly.
I mean, I can't see that being the best way, because what if you come back differently? Because, like, bro, once you add that muscle, now you got to account for that, bro. Like, because you're going to be slower. Your shot's going to be a little bit different. Not even a little bit. You're going to be shooting that bitch off the backboard. Like, I'm not going to lie, my nigga. It's going to be cooked when you first come back. But that's all good, because you're going to get it right back. Or, you know, you could do it the smart way, like he said, like he's about to get into it. And
kind of efficiently, honestly. The problem with this is that when you do come back, your body may have issues with adaptations to the game. Basketball is the movements in basketball are very game specific. You may come across injuries, you may be moving slower, you may become slightly less athletic, which is the whole point of why you're doing this. Now, the smart way, which is the way that I recommend, is that you limit your high intensity cardio when it comes to basketball. You're just gonna limit pretty much your pickup games and replace those pickup sessions with game specific drills. Whether you gotta work on your left hand, work on form shooting, work on dribbling, you're gonna replace the high intensity days with more skill specific work. And then you're gonna continue to lift, eat properly, and do what you do over the course of some period. It's gonna take you a lot longer to get to where you go, but you'll feel better throughout the process. Now the fast way is really for people that just want to put on size and like to hoop and like to be athletic. Also, it's not for people that are really serious about hooping. The hoopers, the ones who really want to do this, you got to do it the smart way, because it's the way to go about maintaining your game, maintaining your athleticism. You don't waste any time away from the game of basketball, because taking a summer off to work on just building muscle, not getting any shots in, any reps up, it's gonna take your game back a lot of steps. Now, when it comes to the work in the gym, you're gonna be focusing on compound movements because you're an athlete and your body works as a unit. You're not gonna be trying to isolate certain muscle groups. You're gonna try to do as much compound movements as you possibly can. That's gonna be things like pull-ups, squats, trap bar, deadlifts.
Write that shit down, write that shit down, write that shit down. Write that shit down. This shit's getting serious. This shit's getting real serious. I need y'all to start writing shit down. Take out a fucking pen and a fucking notepad, motherfucker. Shit done got serious.
Dips, chin-ups, you know, the whole nine. These are things that include multiple muscle groups, and you're gonna do less of the bicep curls and lateral raises and things of that nature. So generally what I like to do when it comes to compound movements is I like to go heavy in these compound movements. I'm thinking like reps of 5 to 8. And then if you want to work on some accessory stuff, if you do want to look aesthetic at the same time, if you do want to get some bicep size and things like that, then you can do your isolations, your bicep curls and things of that. And then when it comes to those rep ranges, you're gonna probably work up to like 12 reps max, 8 to 12 reps. And that'll just get you a little bit more volume, a little bit more fluff and meat on your bones. But generally, the heavier movements or the heavier rep ranges are gonna make your muscles very hard and dense. And then the lighter rep ranges will kind of have you a little bit more fluffy, a little bit more full with more size appearance. Now, when it comes to your splits and your workout routine, there's really a handful of options you can go with. That's gonna be an upper, lower, push-pull legs, full body, and then there's the bro split. Now, right off the bat, you're not gonna do the bro split. It doesn't make sense. That's more for aesthetics and bodybuilding. You're an athlete. You don't wanna isolate every single muscle group, as I said. So that will kind of limit the amount of compound movements that you can do. Now, what I recommend personally, my favorite is full body, but you can get away with the upper lower. The reason why you can't go ahead and do bro splits and push-pull legs, in my personal opinion, is because you gotta be in the gym way too often to do that. Now, you can't be in the gym and working on your skills at the same time because you can't recover. So the best way to do this is to do full body, probably 3 days a week, have your skills training, let's say twice a week, then you got 2 days of rest. It works out a lot better than a bro split when you're in the gym essentially every day or 6 days a week. And then you still gotta go do your skill work. It just won't work out. Push-pull legs, you can possibly do it, but the routine is push-pull legs, rest, push-pull legs, because you wanna hit each muscle group around twice a week, honestly, if you want to get some serious muscle growth, but that only leaves 1 day of rest. Now, obviously, when it comes to your specific build, you know, you're not God, you can't specifically design your own build, but you can stop where you see fit. For example, let's say we all start off at John Morant. We train for a few months we're lifting, getting stronger, getting bigger, eating right, and then we're at Giannis level. A lot of you may look at Giannis and say, Giannis is perfect, I'm exiting at this point. Some of you may want to continue, lift a bit more,
It's a LeBron
lift
level.
a bit more, boom, you're at
Zion
LeBron.
level.
A lot of you are gonna say, okay, I'm done, I'm LeBron big, I need to focus on my game, I don't really need to lift. But some of you may say, hey, I like this, I want to lift some more. Lift. A few years later down the line, you're Zion.
Yup.
You may be good with that also. But the thing is that you're gonna notice as you progress through more and more muscle, as you go from Ja to Giannis to LeBron to Zion, you're gonna start to pick up a lot more fat. Now these guys have a lot of muscle, but they get less and less lean as you go up the ladder. And that's because as you build on muscle, your potential for muscle growth goes down. So as you're trying to reach those extra pounds of muscle, you're gonna put on a lot more fat relative to the muscle that you're putting on. So it's just something you need to be mindful of. If you do wanna get super big, you're probably gonna be somewhat less lean. It'll come with the appearance, but you'll still look aesthetic if that's your goal also, but it's just part of the game. Now, obviously, for these examples, I'm giving elite athlete builds. So you, Jimmy from down the street, chances are that you may work out for a little bit. You may look like Kyle Anderson, and then there's gonna be some.
What's this nigga's strife with Kyle Anderson? Like, this is like the second or third Kyle Anderson choked Ada tossed in that bitch, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he fake wilding on Kyle Anderson.
You who also have amazing genetics and you might look like Dwight Howard. You know, genetics are for sure a factor. You know, you can't fully design your build, but just to keep in mind of how you can go about doing so. Now, I'm sure there's gonna be comments on NBA PED use, and the truth is, honestly, I have no idea who in the NBA could possibly be on PEDs or steroids if you're not familiar. Do I think it exists in the NBA? I'm sure somewhere there's someone in the NBA who's on steroids, but chances are it's not someone that you think it is. Like, I would doubt it would be someone like a Zion. I would even doubt it would be someone like a LeBron. Mm-hmm. It's just my personal opinion. You can debate me in the comments, but it's just my personal opinion. So I'm sure it exists, but at the end of the day, it's no benefit to you to say these guys are on steroids, so I can't get to their level. You still gotta put in the work every day, get as good as you can possibly get, and make the most of it. If you appreciate the video, smash the like. I will be dropping an upper body workout very soon. I tried to film it this morning, but I couldn't get up. So smash this, give me a bunch of likes, and I'll have the energy to get up. So with that being said, I'm Jiggy Hills, and I'm up, bro.
See, chat. Now, see, I watched that for y'all niggas, because I'm just that nice of a guy, you feel me? Now, see, a video that would, you feel me, that would be beneficial to me is this. You feel me?
If you look around the NBA, a lot of guys don't
This would be more beneficial to me. But look, I'm here for y'all. I'm for the people.